I can do anything, yeah. Hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no.
Hey girl, welcome back to my channel. So as you already read from the title, I will be dyeing my hair again, and not only will I be dyeing my hair, but I'll be dyeing my friend's hair as well. The dye I'm going to be using today for my hair will be the Adore Creative Image hair dye. I'm doing the colors 68 Crimson and 64 Ruby Red. I mixed together only 1.5 bottles of each. Mixing those two colors together, I ended up with about 300 milliliters of the hair dye. This way of dyeing my hair is actually very simple. All I'm doing here is just putting the dye into the applicator bottle and just shaking it up. So as you can see from the video, my hair is brownish, copper, brassy. It's basically brown now, so I'm not feeling it on my hair, especially with my roots growing out. And I actually miss being a redhead, so that is why I am dyeing my hair red again. Let me know or like this video if you want to see another curly to straight routine. I think I'm gonna just keep my roots black. That's a lot. Damn, that's like...
I told you your hair grew a lot.
In a year, half a foot. Okay. So like I mentioned earlier, it's really not that hard. All I will be doing is just squeezing the hair dye onto my hair and working it in to get the color red. Look at the difference already.
Okay, yeah, that's red.
So I'm just going to be repeating the same process throughout my entire head. Just going through, squeezing the dye on it and working it in. Also making sure I just distribute it and saturate my hair evenly. And then I also detangle my hair just to work it in further. So right here you can really see the difference of me applying the dye on my hair versus my old dye. It's a very drastic different color, and I'm really not feeling this brown, so that is why I'm going back red. This Adore hair dye is a cruelty-free and vegan hair dye. It's also semi-permanent, so the only reason why I'm using this is because my hair is already previously dyed and the dye has basically rinsed out from the color that I had originally. So this is just an alternative way to dye your hair without using bleach or developer again. Okay, I had to move around the little setup a little bit just so you guys can see the actual process of me dyeing my hair. But it's the same thing I already said. I'm just going through putting the dye on it and working it through my hair. Here's another clip of me showing the difference of what my hair looks like now versus me applying the dye on it. And then when I go blue, all I need to do is buy some of this shit to revive it. What?
You got this ponytail on pants.
You dyeing your hair red now. You already talking about going blue. I sure am. I'm going to be blue next, bitches. Okay, now I'm on the last piece, so I'm just going to do the same thing, and then I'm going to show you what my hair looks like with the dye on it. after I've finished applying the dye, I just take a little bit more just to, ensure that my hair will be red. I just distribute some more on top of everything. So this is basically what my hair is looking like and what it's going to look like after I wash it. I let the dye sit in my hair for about an hour, and then I went on to rinsing it out until the water ran clear. Then I just went in with my Dove Intensive Repair shampoo and conditioner and just shampooed and conditioned my hair. I also conditioned my hair again with my Aussie Moist conditioner. This is my favorite conditioner ever. And then after that, I deep conditioned it, and that was pretty much it. Moving on to part 2, if you want to dye hair like a semi-pro, you will need the following, which are some Vaseline. You will need some plastic or latex gloves. I recommend latex because I poked a hole through these. You will need a mixing bowl and a dye applicator brush. You've seen this hair dye featured in my first ever hair dyeing video. I will be using my L'Oreal HiColor HiLights. The only color I'm using today will be red. I will be doing this on dark hair, so I'll be using the 40 volume developer. You also do not want to forget your plastic shower caps. And lastly, you'll need some type of hair color repair. Again, as featured in my first hair color video, I'll be using my Ion Repair Solutions hair color treatment and my Ion's Color Solutions After Color Sealer. So one of the first steps are just squeezing the hair dye into your mixing bowl. I make sure I get every drop, but it's up to you. So now comes measuring. If you've seen my first video, you know my measurements were way off, but I think I pretty much fixed them in this one. You can read the box yourself, or you can just follow along to whatever I'm doing. It's up to you. So for each box, it recommends 2.4 ounces of developer. So since I used 3 boxes, I used roughly 7 to 8 ounces. And once you get your measurements together, you're ready to mix the developer with the dye. By no means am I claiming to be a hairstylist. I'm just doing this because I was trusted to do it. I've dyed my hair before and it went pretty well. So my friend wanted her hair dyed and I said, why not? I don't apply dye in any type of system. I know you're actually supposed to do it from ends to root, but I mixed it up a little bit because when I dye hair, I don't like it to be one solid color. I like it to have a little bit more character. So nothing's going to be by the book in this video. I don't have a book. I'm not a cosmetologist yet, but this is just how I've dyed hair. This is how I am dyeing hair in this video. So this is really just showing you how to dye your hair red 2 different ways. So like before, you still want to make sure you are detangling the hair as you're applying dye to it. So that's what I'm doing here as I'm putting the dye on her hair. So since I mentioned before that some areas I don't do ends to root, in certain lighting, it might look like her roots are just a tad bit brighter than the rest of her hair, but in some lighting, it looks the exact same color all over. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about at the end of the video, but I just thought I'd throw that in there real quick. Like I mentioned before, I'm definitely not a hairstylist, nor am I a cosmetologist, so my technique probably is not the same technique they use in hair school. So now I'm more than halfway done, and the next step is just to rinse out the dye until the water runs clear. So you can see here that the rest of her hair looks a little darker than her roots, but when the light comes on, it all looks the same color. But that's just because her hair is naturally dark, so had her hair been blonde, it would all look the same color no matter the lighting. So now that all of the color is rinsed out, I'm going to take some Cream of Nature Argan Oil from Morocco Moisture and Shine shampoo and wash her hair. I also make sure I scrub her scalp so it's not left red. So I'm going to wash her hair one more time, and this time I'll be using the Iso Plus Neutralizing Shampoo. So the last two steps are just applying the ion repair treatments, and that's pretty much it. Right here you can see what I'm talking about. When the light hits the hair, it all looks the same color, but in the dark you can see the different tones of red. Alright, so that concludes my video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the two processes of dyeing hair red. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!